again, fight fans. Welcome back to 10 Count. I'm your host, Michael Montero, joined by the editor of Ring Magazine, Doug Fischer, and Michael Baca for UCN Live. On May 19th, it's a split-site doubleheader on Showtime Championship Boxing from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec. Adonis Stevenson, the 9th defense of his WBC light heavyweight title against Badou Jack. He won that title back in 2013. And then at the MGM National Harbour in Oxon Hill, Maryland, Gary Russell, the 3rd defense of his WBC featherweight title against Joseph Diaz Jr. Doug, let's start in Montreal. Adonis Stevenson.
Great fight town, by the way.
Right, a great scene there, right?
Yeah.
Great fight scene.
Great city, period, by the way. Yeah.
I've never been.
I
need to go. I need to go.
Yeah, that's got to be on your list.
Adonis Stevenson, I mentioned he won that title back in 2013. I can't think of the last mandatory.
He was Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year that year.
He fought 3 times that year. He beat Dawson.
It was Chad Dawson. He won.
Cloud.
Yeah, so he's the linear champ, and he held the Ring Magazine champ. He also won the Ring Magazine championship from Dawson. Right. He was not able to hold on to that belt. Now, the beginning of his reign was pretty good. I mean, one of his early title defenses was Tony Bellew.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
beat Tony Bellew.
A great win for him.
Took the soul of the former IBF title holder Tavoris Cloud.
Right. It was never the same. Never
the same after that. So he had an excellent 2013, and there was speculation that in 2014 or 2015 there would be a huge showdown between Stevenson and Kovalev, but he signed with Al Heyman, kind of got on that PBC train, and let's face it, he milked it. He's been making good money fighting guys he knows he's going to beat. He stopped fighting contenders for a 2-year period, which is why he was stripped of the Ring Magazine title, and why he's lost a lot of career momentum and a lot of respect within the boxing world. But the dude, despite his age, and he started boxing kind of late, so he's well preserved. Despite that age and despite his recent weak schedule in recent years, he's dangerous. That dude can crack, man.
Yeah.
And he's a sensational athlete, and he has underrated boxing ability. He's not the best technician. I think Badou Jack is a better all-around fighter. He's a better technician. He's a more consistent fighter. But Badou Jack can't move around that ring the way Stevenson can move. Stevenson can bomb you on the fly, almost Deontay Wilder style.
He can cover ground real quick.
But he's got better punching form.
Right.
So, and he's a pretty good body puncher. He's got a good jab. Obviously, he's a natural puncher, so he's got that puncher's confidence as well. So this is a fascinating 175-pound matchup. Badou Jack is as solid as they come. He's solid all around. He's not elite in any category. And Stevenson has some elite qualities, certainly his power, maybe his speed.
You mentioned Stevenson's movement, and I go back to Jack DeGale, where it was one of the best fights of 2017, if you ask me. And DeGale, of course, as we know, is an athletic mover.
Yeah.
But he can't punch. And Stevenson, with that eraser, it makes this matchup very interesting.
I thought Jack deserved to win that fight.
I did too.
I agree. He edged him. I agree.
Yeah.
But it's in the past now. Speaking of the past, though, with Badou Jack, I'm really impressed with how he recovered from that knockout loss to, who was it, Kevin Mitchell?
I don't know. It was a
first round. It was a really quick, and quite honestly, even I partook in.
He's come back so strong. That seems like it's 10 years ago.
He's improved a lot.
He's learned a lot, and I even partook in thinking he was done after that.
Right.
And obviously, I was living in the moment.
Never do that in boxing.
Yeah, never do that. You're
But
right.
it has to be asked, though. I mean, he's only had 1 fight at light heavyweight. He fought, I think, Nathan Cleverly last year.
You know what? He actually started his career at 175 as a prospect.
Right, but
he
as
started
far
at
as
170, then he dropped. Yeah, but at the world class level, he's mostly been at 168. That's true.
So the fact that he has been stopped before, and then that he just had 1 fight against Cleverly, who's not known as a puncher at light heavyweight.
Kind of on his way out.
That was a fun fight as well.
Yeah, he's been in some entertaining fights.
Yeah.
But if he gets caught with that hard, straight left from Adonis Stevenson, is that night-night?
I don't know.
Because if DeGale could drop him, because DeGale dropped him. I think.
You're right. You're right.
DeGale doesn't. He did get up. I think Jack is quality. I think he's tough.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of grit and determination to him.
He can't stick his chin out there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He's going to have that chin tucked. He's going to have to be the consummate technician professional. He's got to have like some Bernard Hopkins in him. And Hopkins, at the end of the day, had an all-time great chin. But he's going to need to, to tuck that chin really well. He's going to need to find ways to sap the strength of Adonis Stevenson. I think going to the body is the best way to do it. He's going to need to get his jab going. He's going to need to disrupt that southpaw jab. You don't want to allow Stevenson to get into that groove where he's getting off with his jab. He's going to set up that big left hand. And you definitely don't want to let Stevenson dictate the pace. You want to make Stevenson uncomfortable the way the Polish fighter did in their first fight. Funfara, yeah.
Because he had moments against him.
Yes,
he put him down. I think he put him down.
I believe he did.
He did, yeah.
He weathered the early storm and marched forward with just basic technique and took the play away from Stevenson. And when you do that, you affect Stevenson's confidence.
Right.
And when Stevenson begins to doubt himself a little bit, he's not as devastating.
He's also 40.
Yeah, it's true. As I said, though, I think he's a well-preserved 40. He started
Power's last
late.
thing to go. Mike,
yeah, that's true.
I want to talk about the other fight real quick with Russell and Diaz. When this fight was first being discussed, I think a lot of people thought that maybe Russell would just be too much for Diaz.
Right.
But
on paper, just looking at the ability,
the
natural ability.
The skill set, the athleticism.
Yeah.
But Russell, I'm just looking here. He fought once in 2015, once in 2016, once in 2017.
Once a year.
For the last 3 years, in that same time span, Diaz has fought 12 times.
Yeah, Diaz
so
has
just
been
based
brought
on
along.
activity,
props to Golden Boy.
They have built
Robert
him
Diaz.
up the right way, and I think that
against a variety of styles, against
Yeah.
guys who are no joke.
He's as ready as he's ever going to be for this fight.
Absolutely,
right?
And he's hungry, and he's an Olympian just like Gary Russell. I think Gary Russell had a more extensive amateur career.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest differences between these two is that Joseph Diaz loves boxing. He's loving this. He's loving this ride. He's very serious. He's extremely motivated. And I think Gary Russell Jr. would admit that he has no love for boxing.
He just happens to be really good at it. Yeah.
He happens to be. It's a family business.
Yes.
I think he looks at it that way. And he just wants to do enough to, pay his mortgage. And pay for a good education for his kids and take care of his family. And it's not about being great. And sometimes he'll say that. He'll talk about, I want Lomachenko. I want a Lomachenko rematch. I want to unify these titles and all that. And I don't believe him. I don't think so. I think he's just making a living, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's certainly not the first prize fighter to view it as just a job. But I definitely think this is more than just a job for Joseph Diaz Jr. I think this is his life. This is everything. This is his dream. So he's going to bring a lot of passion to the ring, and I know he's a versatile boxer. He's got everything but world-class power, and that's okay if he fights smart. But the thing is Gary Russell Jr. is smart. And he does have world-class power, along with world-class speed.
I was going to say.
So we're going to see how that works out in the ring.
Might be the fastest hands in boxing. You talk about the lack of power, Doug. Mike, this is in Gary Russell's backyard. This is a PBC promotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Showtime.
Can Joseph Diaz get the decision there? Because let's face it, this is probably going to the cards. Can he get a decision there?
I think he can, of course. If I was his father who trains him, I would be reminding him that he's in Washington, D.C. In between every round. Right. I think that's a big factor. But knowing Joseph, I've known he's wanted this fight for years now.
Absolutely. He's
been up there in the WBC rankings for years. Unlucky to him, Gary Russell doesn't really have much of a career, at least a consistent one. And it's kind of affected Diaz, and that's why he's getting so many of these, build-up fights. But I do think he's ready for it. We're going to obviously get some questions answered about Diaz that we haven't gotten before.
This is the proving ground.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. I'm happy that Diaz actually got it. Props to Golden Boy to letting him go on Showtime. And, I like how they're working together there. I think that's nice. And
we could use more of that in
absolutely,
boxing. Sure.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's a great card, great split site by Showtime they're putting on there. That's awesome.
And Showtime is killing it.
Yeah, they really are.
They really are. Social media, the streaming, just everything. Is HBO, do they still do boxing anymore? I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Comment below, like, share, subscribe. For Doug Fischer and Michael Baca, I'm Michael Montero. See you next time on 10 Count.